Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. Beginning today, mass vaccination campaigns against COVID-19 will begin in the educational institutions of the department.
With the aim of advancing the national vaccination plan against COVID-19, the Secretaries of Education and Health through the departmental essay will be advancing daily vaccination session in the educational institution of the department. According to the schedule and the timetable established with the director of each of the schools from October 25th until the 3rd of November of 2021. Today, this session begins in the Industrial Technical School and the Carmelo School.
Today, I want to invite all parents who have children 12 years and older linked to any of the educational institutions of the island to support the vaccination sessions against COVID that will be developed from October 25th to November 3rd, both in public and private institutions. The only requirements are that parents sign the informed consent where they accept that their children receive vaccines. 2, that children must carry their identity card. In that way, they can be identified. And 3, that children should have their breakfast so that the body is strengthened at the time of receiving the vaccine.
It should be noted that during this session, it will be possible to receive first and second doses. The next sessions will be divided as follows. October 26, Antonia Santos and Liceo del Caribe schools. October 27, Natania and the Gimnasio Real School. October 28, Bolivariano and Luis Amigo School. October 29, Sagrada Familia and Cajasay School. 2nd of November, Brooks Hill and Adventist School. And the 3rd of November, Flowers Hill and the First Baptist School.
The temporary closure of the Jhonny Cay Regional Park began formally with the purpose of beautifying the attraction for the enjoyment of residents and tourists.
Today, the formal closure of the Jhonny Cay Regional Park began. For 3 days, the tourist boat trip to the attraction are completely forbidden. The Environmental Corporation, in conjunction with operators of the site, began cleaning work.
Aprovechando los 3 días de cierre, hemos estado realizando una...
Taking advantage of these 3 days of closure, we have been doing some cleaning and maintenance activities to the establishments that exist in the park. We also took advantage of these 3 days of closure to clean and remove all solid waste from the park. And we also did some maintenance to the entire park's network. Maintenance was also performed on the entire network of the sewage system that connects to the grease traps and different registers. These are connected to a septic system that exists in the park. Tomorrow, we will continue with the same activities and the removal of all organic and solid waste from the park to take them to the Magic Garden landfill.
On October 28, the park will reopen its doors to all visitors, operators, and residents of the archipelago.
An elderly woman in the schoolhouse section is crying out for help. It seems that she has been needing surgery for months and has not been able to receive a referral order to go to the interior of the country to put an end to the condition that's currently affecting her.
Ruth Maria Perez, a 73-year-old resident of Schoolhouse Sector, has been in pain for more than 10 months after suffering an accident in her home last year. A fall that has caused her the ability to move around calmly and without pain.
It's going to be a year this November since I fell down the stairs. I fell on my side and I broke my leg. They sent me for an x-ray and at that time nothing came out on it. Then they took a second x-ray and a crack appeared here in my hip, but the crack was not really a crack, but a fracture.
According to Ruth Maria, after several processes, medical appointments and examination, x-rays, what according to doctors was a simple crack is a fracture and needs to be intervened as a priority through a referral to the interior of the country. According to Ruth's daughter, this has not been possible. Janice Ruiz Perez has accompanied her in this process.
We went back and took her to the doctor. She was seen by an orthopedist who came from the mainland. The orthopedist, when he saw the x-ray, told my mom that she had a fracture, that she needed an operation. He sent her the surgery order to transfer her. I took the papers to Nueva EPS and they told me to wait 15 working days. And when I went back, they told me that I needed a denial letter. I went to the hospital and when I went, the director did not want to give me the denial letter.
Mother and daughter are worried about the health health of this elderly woman who has suffered daily for more than 10 months due to the pain caused by her wound. The call is to the two institutions involved to quickly manage the way to make possible the surgery of this woman, which in this case would be for the Nueva EPS to expedite the process for the referral, and in the case of the departmental ESE to conduct the relevant processes to achieve a letter of denial if this is the case. Teleislas News tried to contact the aforementioned entities, but until the beginning of this broadcast it was not possible. However, this news agency will keep its cameras open for any statement for the central broadcast.
For people who are interested in starting a university career, the ESAP currently has open registration for 2 programs. Alice Medina gives us more information about these.
Good evening to all the TV viewers who connect with us in Teleislas News. I say hello from here from the installations of the ESAP, because they're opening 2 new programs where all the people who want to inscribe can do it. We come here to talk to the coordinator of the program in San Andres who told us about these new programs.
Initially, we started enrollment from October 22nd to November 22nd with the undergraduate degree in Territorial Public Administration, both in San Andres and Old Providence. In San Andres, we are going to have the postgraduate degree in development projects on the same dates. The undergraduate program is 5 years long, and the title is to be a public administrator. The classes will be here in San Andres. In San Andres, we are here at the Bolivariano School. The classes will be on Fridays from 6 to 10 and on Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 6 in the afternoon. Currently, we are virtual, but for next year, we will be back face-to-face from February 1st.
The coordinator also told us how the process of inscription is.
First of all, there is a pre-enrollment process where you are asked for some data. After this come steps 3, 4, and 6, which is to bring your documents and all your information. All this is done through the page. In case you are admitted, you would have to enroll in the first semester through the ESAP.
This is all the information I report from the ESAP. Continue in studio with more information.
Thank you. Through a services fair, the Chamber of Commerce and the DIAN will arrive tomorrow to the sister island of Old Providence.
The Chamber of Commerce of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina will be supporting the DIAN through the service fair, which will arrive tomorrow to the island of Old Providence in order to educate and train individuals and corporations on tax issue. The event will have the following as main areas of device.
Detectamos una necesidad sentida.
We detected a felt need in terms of entrepreneurs and natural persons with some business or commercial activity who did not have at hand their RUT, which is a document that is needed to carry out various activities and to present before relevant entities.
At the same time, there will be personalized training on electronic invoicing, RST, electronic payroll, filling out and filling forms of tax declaration.
En compañía o en asocio con la DIAN.
In association with the DIAN, they will be in the offices of the Chamber of Commerce in Old Providence tomorrow and the day after in a session in which they will attend different topics such as taking out the RUT for the first time, updating the RUT, or simply reviewing tax issues. If people want to make inquiries regarding how they are in the tax issue or any other pending issues they may have.
To be highlighted in this event is the creation and the installation of the NAF, Accounting of Tax Support Nucleus, which is an initiative promoted by the Federal Reserve, and Aerosocial with the support of having trained professionals and students educate and guide individuals and legal entities on tax issue.
Previous before the beginning of the Seaflower Plus 2021 expedition, the ship ARC Providencia sailed to the island of San Andres.
The objective of this new expedition is to update the maps of ecosystem coverage both in the immerged and the submerged environments of the archipelago, as well as to identify a catalog of priority area for restoration, rehabilitation, and recovery after the passage of the hurricanes Eta and Iota. It also generates scientific information to support decision-making in environmental planning and knowledge to identify areas with potential for the declaration of new areas of the national system of protected areas, or rather complementary conservation strategies, and finally to socialize and prioritize the scientific knowledge generated. It will be bathymetry operation with multi-beam and single-beam echosounder technology. With this unit, with which the DEMAR units counts, the analysis of study of the morphology of the sea floor in deep and shallow waters will be conducted. It should be noted that the ARC Providencia has carried out 4 of the previous seaflower expeditions expeditions coordinated by the Colombian Ocean Commission to generate scientific information on the conservation of this natural reserve. On this occasion, the Seaflower Plus 2021 and Seaflower Bajo Nuevo expedition will take place with the participation of 17 scientific foreign institutions such as Invemar, National University, Javeriana University, University of Del Valle, Coralina, Fundación Azul, the CEO Caribe, as well as the permanent crew of the ARC Providencia.
And a slight increase in COVID-19 infection was registered during the weekend in San Andres.
After several weeks of maintaining a low level of infections in San Andres during the weekend that concluded yesterday, the figure shows a total of 18 new cases of COVID-19. The last record of the Ministry of Health and the Institute of Health reported 11 new infections on Saturday, October the 23rd, and 7 more positive cases were confirmed on Sunday, October the 24th. These cases contrast with the low level of daily infections that the island has sustained since the mass vaccination day. Even so, in comparison with other departments, San Andres remained among the territories of the country with fewer infections derived from the virus during the month of October. To date, the island has 6,981 confirmed cases so far in the pandemic. In this regard, it is important to remember the importance of maintaining the implementation of biosecurity measures and getting vaccinated.
Now let's learn about other facts that are news today in our briefings.
The Environmental Corporation Coralina and the Ministry of the Environment conducted the planting of 42 red mangrove seedlings in Old Providence and Santa Catalina. With this activity, the entity seeks to reestablish the environmental balance in the areas affected by Hurricane Iota, which caused the loss of much of these ecosystems that are sought to be strengthened. During this weekend, the departmental shelter conducted the first pet adoption day of the year. The activity was led by PetSci in alliance with Animal Protection Foundations of the island. The group of Environmental Protection of the National Police rescued 12 domestic animals which were in a state of abandonment and vulnerability. After verifying their health, the animals were transferred to a safe place for their welfare.
Now let's receive the weather forecast for today. The weather forecast for today, October 25th, in the coastal area of the archipelago. The skies are partially clouded. The temperature is 31 degrees with winds from northeast direction with intensities of 14 kilometers per hour. Forecast is 75% and 43% of precipitations.